I'm not surprised giant retailers are finding it so hard. I lived in my stockroom for 3 years and my shop still failed. With 980 people facing redundancy at new Look House of Fraser closing 31 of its stores and Marks & Spencer announcing 100 shop closures, I'm reminded of my time spent living in a stockroom for 3 years above a shop in Cambridgeshire. I know, it sounds like the sequel to Papillion, but it's true. I was the shop manager of an independent fashion store, part of a very small team, and to keep overheads low, I slept in a stockroom. Only for a short while. I told myself, once I made my millions, I'd be able to recant my humble beginnings as a true rags to riches story. I quickly learned that every day in retail is a struggle. Having a modest turnover meant you became heavily reliant on key calendar dates like Black Friday and Father's Day, and you'd pray for good weather at the weekend. It's no surprise that the beast from the east was the last straw for a lot of high street stores. It was reported to have caused the biggest fall in retail sales for 10 years, with John Lewis reporting profits plunging 14.4%. My shop was in a sleepy town and was not intended for residential use. There were no simple amenities such as a bedroom, a shower or a kitchen. I soon became familiar with terms such as squatty wash, washing yourself in the sink, and my diet was whatever I could cook in a steamer, typically fish, broccoli and corn on the cob. Although luckily, that was my favorite meal, so I was happy. Eventually, I splashed out on a gym membership so I could at least treat myself to a shower every morning. I don't think I ever saw the inside of that gym. We toiled, experimented, did ungodly hours, sacrificed our humanity on occasions, yet the shop never turned a corner. The critical mass believe empty retail areas will convert back to flats and houses. We're already seeing a shift towards a more social scene, restaurants, nail salons, and with 3 coffee shops opening a day in the UK, it appears the only businesses that are impervious to the current struggle are either those that have an even balance between online and retail shop, or offer an in-store experience to their clientele. Consumers are more emotional when it comes to sales these days. They like to be tended to and have an experience while shopping. Luxury clothing and wellness brand Lululemon, for example, have a coffee shop and a workout space on their first floor, in the menswear section, where they run free yoga classes and events. Customer focus has become more centered around the experience, and sharing time with friends, rather than making purpose visits to buy specific items. This mom shared what happens when you mix unattended toddlers and faked an opinion. People with epilepsy deserve treatment that works. Let's not make them wait. Opinion. As a woman in finance, I know how much the alpha male culture dominates the industry. We never had the capital to take on the big fish. The likes of Boot, mainline menswear, ASOS, Amazon were all gobbling up huge shares of the e-commerce market, and without the investment to grow, we inevitably became the runt of the litter. What was intended as a temporary sleeping arrangement turned into 3 years of disparate living. Being able to sustain any kind of relationship was near on impossible. On the surface, it sounds quite alluring to have manager of independent clothes shop in Cambridge as the header of your Tinder profile. However, the masquerade of a budding entrepreneur was soon deflowered, when would-be mates were presented with a mattress next to a heap of mannequin limbs in the corner of a windowless stockroom. Eventually, the store closed after 3 years of business. And like every man in his 30s with a failed dream, I went back to living with my mum with nothing but a steamer to show for my efforts. 20 frustrations that only retail workers will understand. Should retail workers with depression be expected to fake being happy at work? Pound world to go into administration, putting 5,100 jobs in 350 stores at risk.